Welcome to our channel, ladies and gentlemen. As we get to the end of this year, I want to take this opportunity to thank you very much for your unwavering support. Those who we started with understand the journey that we have walked. We started with less than 10 subscribers, and we have walked the journey because of your support. Those who criticize the channel, those who criticize some contents, when facts are misrepresented, they will go to my inbox, they will get to my WhatsApp, and they will tell me hapo hapana, hapo hujafanya vizuri. And I take those criticism very positively because they make me grow. There are those who have supported the channel with the resources. And I remember when we got that home accident, when my wife got burnt, the members of this channel contributed, and with that I could get to the hospital, and we are happy all the way. Again, from the bottom of my heart, those who have supported this channel in one way or the other, thank you very, very much, and may God bless you. On the same breath, if you are watching for the first time, allow me to request you to take a second or two and subscribe to our channel. Click the notification bell. This will allow YouTube to notify you whenever we do a video like this. Also, give our videos likes and share them. Ladies and gentlemen, having said that, there is something happening in Nyanza that needs to be looked at very urgently, because if it is not averted, then I can sense bloodbath in Nyanza. You know, recently, the police butchered people from Nyanza during the demonstrations, and some were being retrieved from their houses and from their homes. And that was like ethnic cleansing. So if we suspect that there is any iota of an action or utterance that can trigger such kind of violence that would lead to people from Nyanza or from any other part of this country being killed, then we must raise an alarm. And this particular analysis is one that is supposed to be an alarm, and we need to avert it. Recently, there have been happenings. It started when the Member of Parliament of Ugenya constituency, David Ucheng, was not allowed to speak in one of the funerals where the ODM fraternity were represented. And one of the ODM supporters snatched a microphone from him, and there were gunshots in the air. Raila, who was the chief guest, condemned the action and urged residents to exercise political tolerance. After that, the governor of Siaya County, James Orengo, made certain statements that were tantamount to the effect that moving forward, they were not going to allow the UDA members, the ODM rebels, to speak where they are, because he was saying that they are supporting an outfit that has really made life difficult for Kenyans. And with that, he declared that they were not going to speak, and he appointed the Member of Parliament of Siaya, of Alegu's Songa constituency, Honorable Sam Atandi, to be the commander of an imaginary outfit that was going to deal with the Nyanza rebels. Those statements, whether they were meant to make the crowd feel good, I don't know, but they were far-fetched. And I've always wanted to do a video, maybe to try and advise my governor. I know I'm not in the position to advise Orengo, but I will tell you why the statements are going to be the source of untold violence if it is not checked. After those statements, the Nyanza rebels rebutted, and they gave a statement to counter Orengo's statements, and theirs was a kind of ready for a battle, and knowing very well that they support an outfit that is always very ready to hide under very small issues to unleash violence. This statement will tell you exactly what I mean. Kindly watch so that we discuss this together.
Okay, yesterday, the de facto leader of Luo governors Unfortunately, the poorest performing governor in Luoland announced that they have appointed the Alego Usonga MP Sam Matandi to be the commander of the forces that are going to stop UDA from speaking in Nyanza. I want to tell James Orengo that violence is where cowards hide. Violence is where those who have no content hide. Violence is where those who are unable to compete fairly with the others hide. Nevertheless, we will accept that challenge for violence in Luoland, if that is what will make the Luo free from the exploitation that they have been taken through for close to 30 years now. The Luos are people who have been taken round and round and round with lies and counter lies. They were told that Kenyatta was the worst president Kenya ever had. When Moi came in, Moi was also another one. They are using sitting presidents as boogeymen that they use to threaten the people, that they are protecting them from their own presidents. I want to tell these people that these presidents have been appointed for us by God. We have to follow them. If they want their own, they need to pray and get that one that they want. But as UDA, we are not going to be slaves of anyone. We are going to retain our right of association and our right of speech anywhere in the soil of Luoland and anywhere else in Kenya. I do not understand how Raila Odinga and Orengo capturing the Luo into one basket, keeping them in a political cage, is going to make Raila Odinga president. It's going to make him to reach the mythical Canaan. He has reduced himself into fighting small wars within Luoland, a population of 2.6 million voters. I do not know how that can make him president. He has reduced himself to a Luo leader. ODM itself is now hunting and fighting for survival in Luoland. And that fight, I did not expect him to reach a level that it is going to be fought violently. Nevertheless, we are out and ready for the challenge. Bring it on. James Orengo said nobody from UDA is going to speak in Luoland. And this is what I need to tell him. We are going to speak. Whatever they intend to use to stop us is what we are also going to use to speak in their presence or absence. If it is violence, we are ready for it. We are more than ready for it. In fact, we were ready for peace, but for violence, we are more than ready. So if it is violence, we are going to bring it on until they understand that nobody is anyone's slave in Luoland. Raila has kept the Luos as his slaves for exploitation. This is a political party with over $500 million revenue every year, but does not even have a headquarter, because it is a personal business enterprise for somebody to use to exploit the gullible, the vulnerable, and the largely uninformed Luos. We are not going to accept. We are the new leaders on the block. God has given us enough men to protect his people.
I want to tell Governor Orengo, it's a matter of when, not if. We are very ready for them, and they have turned Luoland into their political bastion. We are no longer their captives, and they must be ready for the consequences, and the consequences will be unbearable. We are ready, and very much ready. They have been reduced into installing Luo Council of Elders instead of looking for the bigger picture, that is the presidency. William Ruto is organized, he is serving his first term. The second term will be a done deal. And even the political figure, the key figure, the so-called Raila Odinga, is not interested in presidency anymore in the Luoland. His main idea is to cage Luos, put them into captives, sell them hopes, and the journey to nowhere. So I would like to urge the Luo governors, members of parliaments, led by Atandi. The other time, you unleashed terror when you were on Mandamano. You barricaded roads, you burned roads, you destroyed property. If you go to these towns around, the scars are still evident. So what we are telling them, let them preach peace. But if they don't want peace, we will even ask police to keep off this thing so that we sort out this mess in Luoland once and forever. Fire will be met with the fire. We are not going to run away. We will be fight for our rights. So let them be ready. We are going to sell UDA in the Siaya, Kisumu, Migori, and Homa Bay. Let them also market their ODM. But in 2027, in this region, William Samoei Ruto will get a resounding victory in this region because they are still sleeping. We are putting our house in order. We don't need ODM anymore. ODM is a shell. We don't need it anymore. With us, we are in UDA, and we have Governor Obado as the regional coordinator, regional manager, and the coordinator. We are driving this bus to the destination. Let Raila take ODM to Siaya Orengo. We are going to fight, and if they want to provoke us, we will fight in funerals, we will fight in markets, we will fight in stadiums, we will fight along the roads, and if they think they have monopoly over violence, it will have a triple effect on them.
Number one, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know why statements from Orengo must always be that they must drag Raila's name in it. Because if it is the action where David was not allowed to speak, Raila condemned and said that it was not proper in the current world not to allow some people to talk. So they should have directed their anger to James Orengo and not Raila Odinga. We've seen in the past the former governor of Nairobi, Mike Sonko, revealing to the nation that sometimes back they used to hire goons and dress them in ODM t-shirts so that they can unleash political mayhem on others, and the ODM supporters would be blamed for it. The ODM fraternity would be blamed as a people who are not democratic, who do not accept other views, who do not accept any other political allegiance. And this is exactly why I feel that these rebels will regroup and they will be hiring goons. In one or any of the rallies conducted by ODM, they will send goons to start beating and killing people. And it is very obvious that they will blame it on ODM because Orengo has said that they will not allow any of the UDA members to speak where they are. They will even plan it, get one of them to go and provoke, just a little provocation, and then when they try to deny him to speak, then they will unleash an already planted goons dressed in ODM t-shirts, and they will kill each other. You know, when you unleash brothers killing their own brothers, it is the most stupid thing that can ever happen, noting that just recently their brothers from the 4 counties of Nyanza, that is Kisumu, Siaya, Migori, and Homa Bay, really suffered as a result of police brutality, and we don't want people who want us to go back there because the sky is still there. So this is why I'm saying that the statements of James Orengo will give these people an advantage. They will hide under the guise of, you know, Orengo had said that they will not tolerate any kind of political outfit, and so it is the Orengo group. And it will be too late because even if you make statements now, it will be a blame game after blame game, counter narratives, and it will not be very good for us. You know, they enjoy the support of the police. They also enjoy the support of Ray Omolo, who is the permanent secretary in the Interior Ministry. And they will be making statements. The IG will be with them. The police apparatus and the government apparatus will support them. And this is why I'm saying that Orengo would have not made those statements, considering the statements that now have come from the UDA fraternity. Number 2, these people had been politically annihilated from Nyanza. They started by explaining that they went to Ruto camp for developments. Development was not coming. The other day, we saw Tom Ojienda, who is the current Kisumu senator, launching a Mabati structure. That was the development that William Ruto had given him. And with that, people knew that there was no any kind of development that Ruto was going to give. People have suffered under the Ruto regime. High taxes, high cost of living, and these people, because of these very outrageous policies from William Ruto, He had been rejected, and these people had been rejected in Nyanza. When they tried these recruitment drives to recruit people to the UDA, Raila neutralized them when he launched the ODM recruitment drive. So these people were basically politically annihilated. They didn't have a say. But now when Orengo comes up with such statements, they will have something to say. Now they will start blaming Raila for violence. You see them talking about these people have been captured, they're in slavery. They didn't have anything to say, by the way. They had been completely blocked because the people were asking, where are the development that you went to bring to us? Is it the handouts and the packets of unga that you distribute? And people knew that they went there for their own self-aggrandizement, and Orengo is now giving them something to talk about. These people were finished completely. The statements of James Orengo is also giving these people unnecessary sympathy. You know, when they start speaking about violence and they attach it to James Orengo's statements, people will think, okay, so it is Orengo who is planning for violence, and there will be some kind of sympathy. The people will start looking at them as the victims. They will be looking at Orengo's team as people who do not want the UDA. They do not want to tolerate. You know, looking at how Raila had dealt with these people in Nyanza, it was enough. It was just enough. Because when people were told we are now, you know, registering in ODM, they were finished completely. The kind of sympathy, unnecessary sympathy that Orengo wants to give them must stop. The last one, Orengo's statement could be misinterpreted as a people who fear UDA in Nyanza. Because someone will look at the statement and say, why is Orengo scared about this UDA outfit? And you know, the UDA bloggers have run really that narrative that they have now turned to violence because they have realized that Nyanza is making a U-turn. They are going to Ruto, which is not true. People are tired of William Ruto's policies, the way people are suffering, the cost of education and everything. But Orengo's statements will be misinterpreted, and they will look like this outfit will look like a force to reckon with. Yet when you look at them, these are people who are rejected during the elections. People do not want them. Even if they are allowed to contest again, they will not. People have rejected them. But with such statements, other people like you know, the other people are not coming from Nyanza, we look at them because they will always exaggerate, you know, such statements, and people will think that they are such a big force, that William Ruto is making inroads. Yet the fact is, William Ruto tried to get inroads in Nyanza, and it was dead on arrival. People could not accept him. Right now, people like Owidi have gotten some pieces of voice and they are now talking. The last one I want to repeat. It is very cruel. It is very unnecessary. It is political stupidity to fight, to rub loose against themselves, to kill each other. We don't want any kind of bloodbath. And Orengo must be very careful not to give such people undue advantage. Because I know sometimes politicians get carried away and we make statements that could be misinterpreted as inflammatory. Let us be very, very careful, ladies and gentlemen. And I don't know what you think, but I feel that Orengo should have not made those statements because someone will take advantage. You know the kind of regime that we work with. That is my take.